Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Catherine. Last time we beat the story mode.
Take on the trials once you're adept at the
This
game.
time we're going to be taking on Babel.
Take on the singles trials in this single-player event.
Babel is able to be played in single player or in pairs mode. 2 people. But we're going to go single player because I'm the only one here.
When the night sky fills with glamour, a lovely story awaits you. The grand contest to determine the universe's greatest climber is about to start. The event known as Babel. Good evening. Your guide for tonight's Babel is, once again, the Midnight Venus Trisha. Babel. The giant tower built by mankind to reach into the heavens. Babel itself is split into 4 stages. The first stage, Altar. The second stage, Menhir. The third stage, Obelisk. And the final stage, Axis Mundi. Every time you take on this challenge, the blocks change their positions. It all comes down to raw climbing instinct and skill. I'll level with you. It's incredibly challenging. If you take this on, you'd better be ready for it. Oh, don't you worry. I'll be here to witness every record you break. Oh, there's one more thing I need to tell you. Babel is where only the best of the best can compete. And so, each stage has certain conditions to face. You can also attempt to challenge Babel with 2 people. It'd be interesting to see you cooperate with someone else to reach the top. But if either of you dies, it's game over, so be careful. Now then, are you ready? We'll meet again if you can make it to the final stage. I'm sure I'll see you at the top one day. I'm looking forward to it.
The first stage of Babel is the altar. These stairs draw in the mysteries of the universe and are the first step on the path to the final area. These random walls make things all the harder. Go forth and use your expertise and intuition to forge a path. Go forth.
All right.
Altar, the first stage of Babel, is unlockable by getting a gold prize on either normal or hard difficulty. On any level. Just 1 gold prize. However, if you earn this gold prize on normal, you are not ready for Babel yet.
Stage 1, the altar. Next up is Vincent Brooks, a 32-year-old engineer. How will he tackle the overwhelming challenge that is Babel? We are about to begin. 3, 2,
Ignore that edit there, this is totally a first try. Ignore that step record up in the top left, this is totally the first try. Just for clarification, this is post-commentary. I really couldn't concentrate on commentary when I was playing this live. But yeah, sorry to break your heart and then get interrupted by a cutscene, but yeah, if you got your gold prize on normal, you're not nearly ready for Babel, and it's for 2 very good reasons. 1, much like hard difficulty in the story mode, you don't get undo. 2, the puzzles are significantly harder. I wouldn't say they're harder than the puzzles in story mode. I like to think that it's a different procedure that you have to learn. Babel, Rapunzel, and Golden Theater all have different procedures you kind of have to learn. Like, one's not really harder than the other. So for instance, Babel is more focused on collapsing the stage a lot. Where, as I said in the Golden Theater, you don't really want to over-rely on collapsing. But in Babel, you do definitely want to collapse a lot just to make new footing for you, and you're going to be doing it a lot. And these stages are going to teach you how to collapse properly. And as for Rapunzel, you pretty much can't collapse at all. And you have to work with a shitty block placement, which is what makes Rapunzel super annoying, and it's why nobody likes to play it. And if you do like to play Rapunzel, you are a goddamn liar. Altar is a pretty tall stage. It's taller than the final stage of the Imperio, in fact. 150 steps. Possibly even more. Somewhere between 150 and 200. I can't tell for certain because, you know, when you play this, you do collapse the stage, so you do lose steps in your final result. So if you're already used to hard mode, you're probably thinking that this doesn't look too bad. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad now, but that was a mistake. The thing is that you don't want to narrow your footing as much as you can. Because once we get up into maybe like the 90s to 100s range, that's when the footing's going to get really narrow. This is another trap that you're seeing right here, is a fork. Sometimes the stage can just fork itself. And if you leave the fork alone for too long, you don't try to put it back together, you can put yourself in a very impossible situation with two paths that you cannot climb up, as opposed to one path that you can climb up. Every certain number of steps that you climb in Babel gets you a new level. If you stay too long on a certain level, the blocks below start falling very fast. How many blocks you have to climb to get a new level depends on the level that you're playing.
New record.
That was a mistake. But I can make it work.
New record.
I want to say it only took me like a handful of attempts to beat this level. Maybe about like 5. I didn't expect to beat this on my first try anyway. You shouldn't expect to beat any of the Babel stages on your first try. Like I said, you have to learn how Babel works before you can actually really play it. So another thing I should mention is that the game played up Babel as being this completely random challenge mode. Like, the blocks are completely random and it's completely skill-based. That's actually not entirely true. Babel doesn't drop the blocks randomly, but it drops random patterns of blocks. So theoretically, if you play this level enough, and any other Babel stage, and you know every single pattern, you can just develop a habit of doing a very certain solution for every single pattern. Although that probably won't work all the time, especially in the later Babel stages when how you collapse the stage before to solve the first pattern affects how you're going to solve the second pattern drastically.
New record. New record. New record. New record. New record.
Steps climb.
New record. New record. New record.
He
New
doesn't seem to
record.
be tired at all.
New record. New record. New record. New record.
But still, this level's pretty fun. I've never actually played Babel in my own time before. This is my first time playing it.
20 steps.
New record. New record. New record.
Kinda glad I'm playing it for the LP. Even though I've recorded all of these levels before, and have beaten all of them, and have come to the conclusion that one of them is complete and utter fucking bullshit.
New record.
But I beat it regardless.
New record. New record. New record.
I usually don't like pulling out heavy blocks, but it did look like that was kind of a situation where I had to do it.
New record. New record.
130 steps.
New record. New record. New record.
Climbing skills move me to tears. I haven't been this excited in a while.
So the music changed, which means that we are almost there. This is merely the home stretch.
New record.
Just as soon as this cycle of the pattern is done with,
New record.
we're going to be getting these really straightforward walls to
New
climb.
record. New record. New record.
Always symbolized by a giant stripe of unmovable blocks with the Babel
New
logo.
The goal is in sight.
And just like Golden Theater, when the goal is in sight, you'll hear the bell.
New record.
In hindsight, I probably could have done this faster if I didn't dilly-dally so much, but I'd say I didn't do too bad for my first pass at this level.
New record. New record. New record. New record.
He did it. Vincent Brooks just beat the altar.
Wow, wasn't that thrilling?
Actually, that wasn't half bad.
Doesn't look like I ranked too high. But that's no big deal. It's only the first level. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have ranked pretty high on this level. 3 minutes 50 seconds, that's pretty damn impressive. These leaderboards are shared across Xbox 360 US versions of the game. It's not cross-platform, and it's not cross-language. It might not even be cross-region, so NTSC and PAL English-speaking versions of this game might not mix together? Might not. Well, I don't know. But anyway, here's an example of that forking thing I was telling you about. That was a situation where I made a staircase up to nowhere. And this situation right here was actually salvageable, but I guess I retried it because I just didn't want to have it. And this is another forking situation. Now we have 2 unclimbable towers instead of 1 climbable one. And the blocks are falling very fast because I spent too long on level 7. And we are fucked.
Now's not the time to be dead.
New record. New record.
It looked like I had something going there, but it turned out to be a dead fucking end. Yeah, at this point, just retry. Don't even try to make sense out of this. Well, I'll see you guys on the next stage of Babel.